Chapter 756, Farm Team. After finalizing the details of the real-world gathering through Madame Hella's messenger, including the time, place, password, and method of the meeting, Lumion quietly listened to the members of the Academy group exchanging ideas, occasionally joining in the discussion. With his current mastery of mysticism, he no longer needed to hide his ignorance. After a while, Lumion asked if anyone had the potion formula and related ingredients for the Harvest Priest, but the answer was no. He then walked over to another group near the ancient palace's gate. Called the Farm, it was a group of curly-haired baboons research society members who enjoyed planting and accumulating wealth. Lumion had once overheard their everyday conversations about how many hectares they had purchased, their plans to save for a ranch, their forest harvests, the effectiveness of their compost, the Church of Earth Mother's batch of modified wheat seeds suitable for arid regions, their growing savings, and how work brought them joy. After that, Lumion never eavesdropped again. As he approached the farm members, he smelled the earthy scents of soil, fertilizer, grass, grains, and livestock, a familiar and comforting aroma that transported him back to Cordu village, back to his sister's side. The experienced Lumion instantly became alert. This reminds me of life in Cordu for one thing, but on another level, the acts of farming, herding, and harvesting resonate with the Umbella bloodline within me. The goddess of harvest is indeed living up to her name, as expected of the Great Mother's child of God. Lumion quickly figured out the reason. Although consuming the remnants of Umbella's umbilical cord hadn't enhanced his powers or abilities, it had attracted the Great Mother's gaze, allowing creatures she had created or blessed to sense his bloodline, though it hadn't been without effect. Umbella's residual bloodline subtly altered his perceptions of certain things, indirectly affecting his psyche. As Lumion listened to the farm group members discussing, he keenly observed each person's reactions. Although only creatures lacking necessary intellect would mistake him for a child of the Great Mother, those who had received the Great Mother's boons or were directly created by her could sense the Umbella bloodline in him, though they wouldn't misidentify him. This would help Lumion determine, through any unusual reactions among the farm group members, whether they covertly worshipped the Great Mother. After a few minutes, Lumion tentatively confirmed that none of the curly-haired baboons research society members in this area were problematic. He then mimicked Auror's voice when she pressed her voice down, looked around, and asked, "Does anyone have the Harvest Priest's potion formula or related ingredients? If you're unwilling to disclose the formula, you could sell me a ready-made Harvest Priest potion." "Muggle, I thought you were a warlock," a farm group member called Breeder Master asked, puzzled. He was tall with a rugged, wild demeanor and wore a primitive tribal mask made from animal fur. "I know someone who needs it," Lumion laughed, "and I thought I might make a small profit while helping out." Breeder Master further inquired, "You should know that a ready-made potion needs to be consumed quickly before it is absorbed by the container and becomes a sealed artifact with strong negative effects. Moreover, trading through Madame Hella's messenger would delay things. You have to drink it immediately upon receipt. Will there be no issues?" "Madame Hella's messenger sure is busy," Lumion teased inwardly. "No problem." After questioning and observing, he was sure that the doctor potion from Lugano had been fully digested. This was a doctor who had treated an angel and fake angel. After Ludwig was brutally beaten by Loki, it was Lugano who had treated and healed his wounds. Lumion himself had received Lugano's treatments on multiple occasions. After contemplating for a moment, Breeder Master said, 20,000 gold risat for a ready-made Harvest Priest potion. It's pricier than just buying the ingredients separately, but we have to respect intellectual property rights. Normally, I'd charge between 30,000 and 35,000, but since we're all members of the society. About 40,000 Verldor, Lumion nodded slightly in agreement. No problem. He already had 19,000 gold, risat in bills and coins on him, so he made an upfront payment of 10,000, agreeing to pay the balance upon receipt of the potion. They brought in 7 from the sanctuary group to notarize the agreement. "Pleasure doing business," said Breeder Master with a smile to Muggle as he pocketed the deposit. He then turned to other members of the farm group and exclaimed, "Now I have the funds for more experiments. I've been studying those mushrooms created by the legendary druid Frank Lee. I find his philosophy intriguing and worth following. Given the myriad supernatural beings in this world, including Beyonders, why not merge the blood, flesh, milk of these beings with ordinary plants? Whether through hybridization or genetic modification, with the aid of mystical powers, it can be done relatively easily, and after several generations, the traits stabilize, resulting in plants with magical effects but no Beyonder characteristics." As Lumion listened, a strange unease began to form within him. He never felt this way, even when discussing death-related topics with the Purgatory group. The first time he heard the name Frank Lee was in the Cordu village dream, where an official Beyonder named Ryan mentioned a saying that circulated at sea. "I'd rather come face to face with pirate admirals or even kings than run into a bloke named Frank Lee." Later, when Lumion was at sea, he heard no rumors about Frank Lee, nor did he know if Ryan was exaggerating in the dream or if those who knew of Frank Lee's deeds dared not or chose not to mention him again. Sanctuary Team. Franca looked towards a member nicknamed Someone and asked with a smile, "Weren't you looking for the Marauder Pathway Sequence 5 Dream Stealers Beyonder characteristic? Still need it. I just got one from a friend. If you don't want it, I'll go to an artisan to craft a mystical item with that Beyonder characteristic." Someone wearing an eye patch-style black half-face mask sized up Franca and replied, "It seems your friend isn't you. I don't need it anymore, but wouldn't mind another. One flat rate, £5,000. That's about 120,000 Veraldor." Franca laughed and said, 200,000 Veraldor, not a coin less. Someone calculated for a moment and countered, 150,000 Veraldor at best, or forget it. Franca thought for a few seconds and said, "You can pay in 2 installments, the first right now of 120,000 Veraldor, and the second of 60,000 within 3 months of receiving the Beyonder characteristic, secured by Seven's notarization to enforce the contract." Someone paused to think, then asked with a smile, "Aren't you worried I'll default after getting the Beyonder characteristic? A notary's notarization isn't foolproof. Remember, I was once a renowned swindler." Franca smiled. "Who's better, you or Bard?" Someone fell silent. "Bard has already been dealt with by me and my comrades. Unless you're willing to give up a very useful trading platform over 60,000 Veraldor, I'm not worried about you defaulting. Your Beyonder characteristics are also quite valuable." Franca, who had mafia ties, made her intimidating remark as casually as discussing what's for dinner. "It won't be long before I surpass him," replied someone after a few seconds. "Deal." "No rush," Franca said with a smile. "The final payment must be in gold." In the following days, Lumion had no particular business and wandered around Trier, tracking several mirror people and looking for Harrison's whereabouts based on intelligence provided by Seven. He was supposed to collect a reward from Mr. K, but his heart resisted, and he kept delaying. Franca completed her transaction with someone from the Sanctuary group, receiving a down payment composed of bills and coins totaling £5,000. She also gave Jenna 15,000 Veraldor in bills, stipulating that the remaining payment of 60,000 Veraldor in gold belonged entirely to her. Jenna lost the Dream Stealer Beyonder characteristic, but also paid off the 45,000 Veraldor she owed Franca, now possessing 16,000 Veraldor and gold loan pound worth 120,000 Veraldor. She had never been so wealthy before. She always knew that potion formulas and Beyonder characteristics were valuable and even knew their approximate price range, but she had never paid in full in one go nor truly sold any until now. Now, she was experiencing what it felt like to earn money like the pirate hunter J.M. Sparrow. That evening, just as Lumion returned to his rented apartment, planning to change his clothes and muster the courage to see Mr. K, the wall lamp in his room suddenly tinged with eerie green and pale colors. They blended bizarrely together. Then Lumion saw his messenger, the mummified penitent in a black clergy robe, emerge from the void. Almost simultaneously, Madame Hella's messenger, a skull made of pure silver, appeared shrouded in darkness. Shortly after, the silhouette of a doll messenger rapidly took shape. Lumion was somewhat stunned. Would the messengers fight each other? Do have 3 letters. One should be for the Harvest Priest potion, another likely a sealed artifact made from the Beyonder characteristics of Hisoka, but what about the third?